Today's topic is all around your passion. So many of us are lost, confused, frustrated, sometimes irritated with so many ideas coming to us every Monday. And then by Wednesday or Friday, we don't know what to do with that idea. If we don't execute it or we don't engage with it, a lot of times it flies off to other people. And sometimes we see our ideas being executed by other people simply because we never had the courage to take action on it. What I want to share with you today was how I discovered my passion. A lot of people ask me this, Puja, how did you eventually know that this is what you want to do in your life? And I can tell you that life for most of us is what I call like an onion. We peel one layer, only then the next layer becomes obvious. Then we peel the next layer, then only the next layer becomes obvious. It's like going from one gate to another gate to another gate to realize that, you know what, as the life keeps unfolding, we keep on getting closer and closer to what I call our highest purpose. And sometimes to reach our highest purpose, we have to go through many passions. A lot of people look at their different passions in hindsight and go, oh my God, I failed at this, I failed at that, I failed at this. Absolutely not. For most of us, who we became because of that experience is what matters, and it kept us taking us closer and closer to that highest mission, highest purpose, whatever it is you want to call that eventual, what it is that you will land up contributing back or living a meaningful life because of, right? So today I want to do this very interesting test that someone had done for me. There's a lady called Janet Atterwood, and she has this beautiful book called The Passion Test. She had actually approached Jack Canfield at one point because she wanted him covered in her book. He was leaving for the airport, so he apologized to her that it won't be possible. She asked him, so how are you going to the airport? He said, I've taken a taxi. She said, can you cancel the taxi and allow me to do this test as I pick you up and drop you to the airport? He was like, sure, why not? So she did exactly that. And on the way, as they were doing the passion test, Jack realized that the first top five passions of his, he got a 10 on 10 in. But his sixth passion, which was to surround himself with, people who truly are motivational speakers or thought leaders, that he did not have. For those of you who don't know who Jack Canfield is, he's the man who's written Chicken Soup for the Soul books and has the title of the Guinness Book of World Record for maximum books sold under one topic. So in case those of you who don't know him, I know most of you would, however. And so Janet was taking this interview of his, or the test that she was doing on him, and realized, when he realized that this number 6 he was a zero on, for he had not surrounded himself for the kind of people he would like to, he went back to his office to start something called the Transformational Leadership Council, or it was at that point called TLC. And he invited people who he deeply respected in the self development world to come and join. Over the years, this particular tribe grew really massive, and they started to meet every 3 months in different resorts to truly look at what's happening or what's the quantum physics behind the self development world. Eventually, there's a lady called Rhonda Bryan. Some of you may have heard of her because of the movie The Secret. She actually approached Jack that, you know what, if you're going for that retreat, I would love to come and make, she was a video maker. So she said, I would love to come and make a video on the law of attraction. And she said, I'm going to be calling the movie The Secret. So those of you who've read The Secret or heard of The Secret, if you haven't, I highly recommend you Google it and get yourself a copy or watch the movie, because it's simply fabulous. All of these teachers who landed up taking part in it, who used to charge almost something like $10,000 a day, started to charge $50,000 a day because of the success of The Secret. It became a global phenomena. Oprah covered it, Paris Hilton was reading it. It became like one of those cult books of really making law of attraction a household name. So this was, just imagine, a small test done in the car on the way to the airport had this level of impact. When I did the passion test the first time, I remember writing, I love reading. Eventually, I wrote, I love reading non-fiction books. Then I wrote, I love reading self-development books. Then I wrote that, what I love surrounding myself is all of this self-development work, that I wanted to start my own book club, that I would love to help people get this information. And slowly and gradually, it reached a place where I decided that what I really want to do in my life is become a life coach. Now, it took me a few tests for me to discover it, because when you write, I love reading, you really don't know if that's really what your passion will look like. But over the months that I kept doing it, it made me reach that place where I literally found my purpose through this test. So, if you are ready, I'm going to recommend to each one of you, quickly run, go bring some pen and paper, and let's get started. A few ground rules. I'm going to, in a moment, ask you to write down the top 10 things that would make your life ideal in your being, doing, and having in the next 1 year. So I'm going to give you also a lot of examples, so don't worry. So what will make your life ideal? What are the things that are important to you also and give you joy? I want it to be a combination. There are things that are important but don't give us joy. There are things that give us joy but are not important. Don't go too much in your past, because I don't want you to write that if my grandmother was alive, I would, be my life would be ideal, because that's not possible any longer, right? God bless her soul. I don't want you to go too much in the future, that when my 2-year-old daughter gets married, that's when my life will be ideal. I don't want you to go too much in the future. Try to keep it within the next 1 year. If your life was ideal and you were basically ordering the universe to give you all of this, what would those things look like or be like, or what would you want to be like? Another thing, do not put the responsibility on other people. For example, don't say, if my husband was romantic, if my son gets 100% in his boards, or anything like that. Try to keep the responsibility on yourself. So what can you do to make sure your relationship is romantic, or what can you do to support your son? That's the manner in which I want you to write. So my life is ideal when, and then write out 10 things. Let me share with you some of mine. My life is ideal when I'm spending quality time with my husband. My life is ideal when I'm building my business. My life is ideal when I'm having a superb morning routine. My life is ideal when I'm traveling the world. My life is ideal when I'm getting to spend quality time with my children, especially discussing topics of deep interest to them. My life is ideal when I'm surrounded with my family or members or friends that I absolutely adore. My life is ideal when my cupboard is filled with all the things I love. It could be clothes, shoes, bags, jewelry, whatever it is that I'm aspiring for at that moment of time. So, for some of you, it could be, my life is ideal when I move into a new house. My life will be ideal if I have a house on the hills. My life will be ideal when. So, like that, you can come up with whatever you like. Don't judge yourself. My life will be ideal if I'm an artist, or I get to sing a lot more, or I get to dance a lot more. The thing is, don't judge yourself. Just know that for all of us, our dreams and desires take us towards that place of really, God knows that the more we are in touch with our dreams and desires, the more automatically we will lead to a happy, everlasting, good, amazing life. Yeah. So you want to go into that energy of everlasting happiness by following this that matters to you, things that are important to you and give you joy. So I'm going to quickly give you 2 minutes. I would love for you to pause this and write. All right, so lovely to have you all back. I hope you've got your list of 10. Now, what I'd love for you to do is find your top 5 in priority of what is most important to least important. We are going for the top 5. So, for example, if I had to give you my top 5, my number one would be my morning routine, which is consisting of, my meditation, my gratitude, my goal setting, my vision for the day, my scheduling for the day. All of these are very important. Reading something that empowers me, or gives me that positive outlook for the day. So my morning routine is absolutely essential for, if I am in a happier space, who I show up as in the world, whether at work or in my relationships, is so much better. So that would be my number one. My number two would be quality time with my husband, because that's something that really gives me strength and a lot of joy. Maybe spending time with my children, building my business, So I'm going in order of, and sometimes my business comes above my children. Both my children live in London, so for me sometimes, because they're not around and I'm busy building my business, it can go up. Again, zero judgment, because this is an ever evolving paper. It's not like, written in stone. Please know, as you keep doing your passion test, you'll keep evolving. Also, as and when things keep getting completed, they'll keep getting ticked off your list and something new will show up. So don't get too attached to the fact that, oh, but my business is coming above the people who matter most to me. Now that's not right. How selfish. Sometimes doing the passion test, you can feel selfish, but the truth is, I'm going to give you one quick mantra: be selfish to be eventually selfless. So for some time, if you need to take before you give, that's totally okay, because an empty well cannot quench anyone's thirst. So get very, very comfortable in prioritizing yourself and things that matter to you, because eventually either you will be in your happiness and spread that, or you will become bitter and resentful and spread that. You definitely don't want to be the latter. Yeah. So then take a moment and prioritize in order of what's most important to least important, just your top 5. All right. I hope all of you've got that on paper. Absolutely. Now, what I'd love for you to do is score yourself. How do you score yourself? On a 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, that you're truly living this passion and it's amazingly present in your life, 1 being it's barely there. I'd love for you to score yourself. So, let's say for my gratitude and meditation, I would give myself an 8 on 10 right now. I almost do it 80% of the month. So it's not 100% because I've been traveling a lot lately thanks to post COVID world opening up, but it's definitely enough for me to feel happy about it. Yeah. Then spending quality time with my husband, 10 on 10, because we've been spending a lot of time together. Building my business, again, 10 on 10, because there was nothing else to do in COVID period. So last 2 years has really been me dedicated towards my business. Spending quality time with my children, a 5 on 10. Recently we went on a trip together, so it's not too bad, but unfortunately it's not often enough. I would like to see them a lot more this year, and I really hope that happens. So like that, you want to give yourself a score from 1 to 10. 1 2 3 meaning you're totally not happy with how much of that exists in your life. 4 5 6, you're kind of happy, but it can definitely be improved. And 7 8 9 10 means you're in a better place with that. Of course, everything can be improved in life, there's no doubt about that, but you want to go with whatever your. And again, some people are very strict with their scoring, some people are very lenient. It doesn't matter, this is just a guideline for you. Yes. So take a moment quickly now, score yourself in all of your top 5 passions. Awesome. I'm so glad you did that. So, all of you can see your scores. Some of you below 20, some of you between 20 to 30, some of you between 30 to 40, and some of you even above 40. That is just rock star level, right? So, I want you to know how the scoring works. Now, if you got below 20, you really need to work on your courage. Why do I say courage? Because to design your life, you need courage. Maybe you are over prioritizing other people over your own needs. Yeah. Maybe you're not having the courage to say no or set boundaries. Maybe you don't have the courage to go after your dreams because you're scared what will other people say. Maybe you have doubt and fear. So look at where, if you have gotten under a 20, somebody else is more important than you, and therefore your life is not getting designed by you, but rather you're living in default mode of whatever happens. You are just going along with the flow. And you know what, when we go along with the flow, we become more of an agenda of other people's lives rather than have an agenda for our own life. Yeah. So you want to really work on your courage. Now, if you got between 20 to 30, I would recommend to you, make a list of your distractions. You have mild clarity on where it is you want to go, but you are highly distracted. So if you can make a list of all of your distractions, you will notice that, these are the things that are stopping you from living your best life. Most days you are living your best life, but there are days in the week where sometimes you just fall off the track or the bandwagon, and you realize that, you know what, okay, I'll start next week, or I'll start next week, and you don't want to be doing that. So working with your clarity and with your distractions will truly help you increase the score and make you a happier person person in life. Now, if you are between 30 to 40, consistency is what I want you to look at. You're already doing a lot of what you need to do. So, firstly, congratulate yourself, take your hand, put it on your back, and really pat yourself for the amazing work that you've already done on your life, and because of which you are already leading the good life. Would you agree you're leading the good life? So, if you've got between 30 to 40, all you need to do is start to get more consistent. If you can keep a habit tracker and track all of that that matters to you, you will see your life very quickly getting escalated to the next level. And if you got above 40, woohoo! Massive, massive round of applause for you, for you are already a rock star. Now, if you can keep this list in front of you, anybody above a 40, you can actually go on to seeing what are those five things that you left out of the 10, and you can start to work with the balance five things, because you've already got your top five pretty sorted. Yeah. So for all of you here who've just now attempted to do the passion test, every single day read your top five passions, keep on bringing it back into your life by seeing what can I do today to make sure that these five happen more and more in my life. And the more you bring these into your life, the more rock star level life you will lead. I hope this activity was helpful and you got some light bulb moment during this process. I would love to hear so much more from you. Thank you so much for coming. I will see you next week.